I grew 3 different varieties of Rocoto pepper this year, and they all ended up being pretty impressive plants. Rocoto peppers are among the oldest domesticated peppers in the world. In their native climate, and apparently also in our backyard, these plants can get pretty large. In our experience, they tend to grow wider than they do tall, with branches that spread out almost in a spider-like pattern. Rocoto peppers grow naturally in South America, especially in the Andean regions of Peru and Bolivia. All Rocoto peppers belong to the species Capsicum pubescens. If you look closely at Rocoto plants, you'll notice the leaves and stems are covered in fine hairs. This is actually where the species name comes from. Pubescens refers to that hairy texture. Rocoto peppers are adapted to cooler climates and higher altitudes more so than other pepper varieties. And they come in a variety of different sizes, colors, and flavors. The flowers are purple or white and purple, and the seeds are black. This is a really unique trait. Rocoto peppers are the only one of the 5 major domesticated pepper species with black seeds. In Mexico, they're called chile manzano, which means apple tree in Spanish because they actually resemble small apples. In South America, you'll hear them called locoto or simply rocoto. While you won't typically find fresh rocotos in the US, they are considered a staple in South American cooking. They're typically stuffed whole or chopped up for various salsas and sauces. And these are spicy peppers, clocking in anywhere from 30 to 80,000 on the Scoville scale. Since these plants preferred on the cool side, I really babied them, moving them into the shade out of the hot scalding sun and making sure that they were adequately hydrated. If you live in a really hot climate, you may want to provide them with some partial shade or a shade cloth. Container growing works really well for Rocoto plants because you can move them into the shade on particularly hot days. And on a few of the really hot days, I even moved my plants indoors to give them the best chance possible. Just be aware that they do require a very long growing season, 120 days or more after transplanting outside. I also recommend planting your Rocoto pepper seeds a few weeks earlier than your other pepper varieties because they do have that long growing season and they can take a longer time to sprout. Beyond that, care is very similar to other hot pepper varieties like jalapenos or cayennes. Give them fertile, well-draining soil and water regularly to keep the soil consistently damp, add mulch around the base, and provide support for those wide-spreading branches so they don't break off. So here in the US, the only way to get fresh Rocoto peppers is to grow them yourself, unless you have a specialty farmer's market nearby and somebody happens to be growing them. So if you're looking for something different in your garden, they're definitely worth trying. And before we get to the taste test, don't forget to check us out on Pepper Geek Eats, where we make all sorts of fun, spicy pepper recipes and experiment in the kitchen.
What do we have here?
All right, so these are the 3 Rocoto peppers, the mini olive, which is super cool, the Rocoto yellow, which is beautiful, and the San Isidro.
I'm most excited about this one. I've obviously been watching these grow. You've done a crazy good job of growing these. I've always failed to grow them, so you've got the magic touch, but these are just how big these are and the unique shape. They really do look like a little apple.
Yeah, this was a bit of a growing challenge. If you recall, when we talked about the varieties we were excited to grow, these were 3 of them. And yeah, it was a really fun project this summer, and I'm super happy with how they turned out.
This one especially, it's just a maniac.
I think lengthwise, that plant grew to be about 5 feet long. I measured it.
Wow. Thick walls on that red one too.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what we're gonna do with all of these. We can stuff them or maybe make a salsa. But there's quite a few on this plant, and they're still producing. It's October 20th right now. So I actually brought these inside because we already had a couple of overnight freezing temperatures. So I wanted them to have the best chance possible. So it's great that these were grown in pots because they've been in and out several times the last month or so.
So cutting into these, especially the bigger ones, it was almost reminding me of a bell pepper. And the inside sort of has the same like bubbly, clear appearance to it. Mm-hmm. Super juicy. It was like spraying pepper juices. So
I haven't tried the yellow one yet this season. I did try the olive, but this is new.
All right, starting with the yellow. It smells great.
Yeah. That's so good. I love it.
I love yellow peppers, I think. That's just like, whether they're super hots or bell peppers, super fruity and
very
sweet,
fruity.
juicy.
Yeah.
A little bit of Ooh, that bite had more heat.
Really good.
Pretty spicy, actually. But yeah, that was delicious.
Yeah, they're great.
think?
I think these would be really good, like, as a salsa or mixed into eggs or something. So probably chop them up and freeze them. All right, the mini olive, which...
The most unique looking one. It's got like an orange placenta.
I just
black seeds.
I just love this pepper so much. It was one that I was so excited about because they look like little olives and they're just so cool. We've never grown them before. And
this is a ripe pepper, mind you. The unripe ones are much more like pepper green, and these are an olive sort of.
Yeah, they turn green. More. They have like a more brown like undertone.
Yeah. And that is just a really pretty cross section.
Let me pick one that's not ripe because I think you can actually tell, like this one's not ripe. See how this doesn't look very yellow? Mm-hmm. If you take off the stem, you'll see that it's more yellow inside.
Yeah, it's like orange actually.
Yeah. And the seeds, unripe, they're not black. So if you slice into one of these and it's not ripe, the seeds won't be black.
Let's see how the flavor compares.
We always do that. It's so good. Oh.
Wow.
They're fruity, you know, they're really fruity and just delicious.
That's a really good pepper.
It's, It
doesn't taste like an olive, but it looks like it.
No, it doesn't taste like an olive at all.
What a
like
cool
almost like an apple. Like I'm getting like that appley taste, but
I'm so glad that this was a success. I'm just happy because I always went into growing rocotos excited and then they would just fail. So this year is a special year. Yeah.
And, you know, as far as care, you know, I used soil that was actually reused from a prior year. It was Fox Farm, and I just amended it with compost and, you know, just kept an eye on them and fertilized them. But I think really what made these plants is that I kept them in partial shade. They were underneath a tree. They were away from the other peppers. They were not getting scorched by the sun, and they were watered a lot.
Yeah, and it was a hot year.
Very hot.
So, I mean, I was thinking these things are going to fail. They're actually thriving now. It's mid-October. It's cold, and they're just like still going strong. All right, so San Isidro. This one that looks like an apple.
This is the one you were excited about.
Yes, let's try it.
Closer to the yellow in flavor.
Yeah.
It's sweet. It's like a...
Yeah, it's almost like... I'm not getting any heat, actually. I kind of want to get a little placenta on this one.
Let's get some placenta in there.
Okay, let's see how hot these are. Because I think it's hot.
Oh yeah, there it is.
It's unique though. I was gonna say it's almost like a bell pepper, and it does have similarities in the crunch factor and the flavor, but it's obviously spicy. Really nice.
I think it's like the perfect heat level. It kind of reminds me of a little bit more tame Barbarous Antipodes for some reason.
That's what I was thinking. It kind of reminds me of that ghost pepper, bell pepper cross.
Yeah, these would be great stuffed.
Yeah, scoop out the seed. I've seen some videos on people making rocoto rellenos, which is just stuffed rocotos. And there are some huge rocoto varieties. I've been trying to source seeds. If anybody knows where I can find Arequipa giant rocotos, they're like the size of a bell pepper genuinely, but they have the black seeds and everything. Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to get some seeds. So if you're up for a little bit of a challenge, if you live in a hot climate, you know, rocotos can be a little bit difficult to grow, but I highly suggest giving it a shot because they are absolutely delicious and such a unique pepper. And if you live in a cooler climate, it's definitely a good choice because they do thrive in those cooler temperatures. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.